Lo que está roto puede reforjarse.
He banned Zoe to be the top laner allegations. The top laner allegations? Oh no. The Twitter memes are fucking spreading. Ever since the Hashinshin thing, every single time they say anything about top lane, they say, "Oh, like the top lane pedals or whatever" on the Twitter timeline with the memes. But you know what's funny? I think the only role or the only champion class I've ever seen like one person actually get put on Twitter for that shit was this 180 carry guy. What's his name? King Vex, I think. And I remember I looked at Twitter and it's like, damn, this motherfucker is on the run from the police for child porn or something, and like they caught him playing League of Legends and like to make sure his account didn't decay while he was running away from the police. And I was like, damn, 80 carry mains are doing some weird shit, bro. What is this? Like, all in all, people, the memes are crazy on Twitter with all that bullshit. You remember that? Yeah, dude, I remember that. It was fucked up. It was crazy. I was like, no fucking way, man. Because the first tweet I saw was the guy, like the guy's face being put on like the police search or whatever on Twitter, and I was like, what the fuck? Like some of the shit you just won't believe, man. And running from the cops and stopping to make sure you don't decay. Yeah, dude, it's just mind blowing. They didn't ward this. If they ward it, I'll clear it though. Oh. Oh. Dekar and jungle players supposed to be the most delusional players to touch the game. Yeah, I think, you know what, chat, everyone, every fucking role and every person hates each other in this game so much. It's crazy. Like, they be making shit about each other, they shit talk each other, they don't talk about the game, and then they just fucking blame everything else. They blame their fucking eyesight, their reaction times, their monitor, their fucking internet, their teammates, their junglers, everything. It's like, bros, it's overwhelming. This community is so toxic. How do you stop blaming shit, Adrian? Any tips? Just don't. You know? Don't blame anything. Focus on yourself. But that, honestly, I guess that's too rare. If Kira walks up, I'm just gonna kill her, so I'll just do 3-wave into 3-wave into a kill into the enemy jungler. Bit of an aggressive play there. Okay. I might do 4-wave with the way she's chunking it. Never mind, I'm not gonna invade, I'm just gonna put a ward just in case.
Cruzaron la línea. Tengo las manos listadas.
Baited. Sorry. You thought I fucked that up on purpose? Like I just fucked it up? Like am I that bad? I guess so. People will never blame themselves. Yeah, they never do. It's really sad. Like because that's one of the biggest things that stops your growth as a player. Finding things to blame and not just focusing on the things you can impact yourself. It's really rough.
La espada es el espejo de su portador.
But you know what? You know what? I do have to say though. I think this game doesn't make it easy for you to focus on the positive things. It definitely makes you focus on the negative things. Especially with the fact that you view your teammates as just like a number on the screen or like an ID. Like you don't get to actually interact with them, right? Like you don't hop into a game together with friends or just for competitive play purposes. It's like it creates this place that's like just really toxic.
Llevo tanto tiempo desterrada.
So I guess I kind of I see why it's hard for some people, but for a lot of people, fall into that mindset.
Elige tu propio camino.
Huh?
Mi espíritu no está perdido. Cuenta otra historia.
Un enemigo. Ha muerto un enemigo.
¿Qué conflicto me
Yeah,
espera?
too healthy. I saw the interaction with people in video games in general. Yeah, I mean, but I think again that's because the systems that are in place, it just fill everything with toxicity, right? Because I think if you make the game, I was talking about this to someone recently. If you make the games friendly in a way where you can party up and or you can just in general build a community with people, right? You'll still find drama here and there, right? But like it won't be so toxic, right? Even if you're doing like competitive play to a certain extent, you can make those systems enable more friendly activity than anything else.
Aprende de tus errores.
Dude, even clubs. You guys remember clubs? I mean, obviously there was the whole controversy with clubs about like, oh, people selling spots for them and then making an insane amount of money just because of the club tag, right? And Riot didn't want that in place. I don't know if that's worth it on the current league state, actually. Because she got XP for that kill. And I gave her some gold. It might be, maybe. I can't ever tell nowadays with the all the comeback mechanics. It's worth no shutdown. Yeah, I know, but it's like I'm thinking about it, it's like, wouldn't it have been better just like let her have those 5 creeps and then freeze the wave on this side and slow her like item even more? It's like it's those kind of things that kind of like tilt me about League nowadays too. But anyway, as I was saying, like the clubs thing was one thing that could bring players together, and then you'd have like a little community, right? That you can talk about the game with, and then like maybe even like end up duo queuing with people for when you're playing ranked. Obviously, for high elo, it wouldn't matter as much in that aspect because duo queue is disabled. But I mean, let's be honest. After I've gone through all the matchmaking variations for ranked and all that, dude. And there's always a cycle of like, are we gonna do a queue or not do a queue? Are we like, what's incentivized? Like, you know, we're not really playing League of Legends when we play solo queue, right? Like, we're actually not. We're playing a like solo carry, like solo player like fantasy. Where like this isn't. We're not even doing like team oriented stuff here. Like everyone is just trying to obtain a bunch of gold to just 1v5 because no one trusts each other. There's no team aspect almost to this game. Which again, it's really sad because this game is like when it feels like you have that community aspect and you have like people that you're working with that are, you know, everyone's going to the same goal. The game's really fun. You know what I'm saying? You guys know where I'm coming from with that? It's like this game tries to sell you, especially when it advertises to you. It's like, oh, the team aspect, like group up with your friends and rank up and do competitive, you know, like all this stuff like Clash. But the Clash only happens once every like fucking 10 months when they figure out that the client actually, or once they finally get the client to actually work for once.
Elige tu propio camino.
Clash is every other week now, but yeah, no, about time. There was a point where they literally took like what, like 4 months before it didn't come out. And that was like 2 months ago or something like that. Yeah, I had that conversation with someone recently, and it was really interesting because it really points out like something about this game that that I really hadn't thought about as much. Yeah. Damn, she's tanky as fuck. Why are mid lane mages so insanely tanky? Dude, every single game, mages, like every mage I go against, they look like a tank, bro. Sociology when boom, you're gonna try to find spawns, some of these orcs are really sus. I'm going to focus on my own branding and my own channels and stuff like YouTube, Twitch, and all that, right? And do my competitive play for the stuff I'm doing in like the next few months. I'm not gonna actively search for a sponsor until I feel like I have everything set up in a decent way, where like I'm comfortable with it. Poor Irelia, man.
La espada.
This matchup is like unwinnable for her, by the way. The only way she can win it is by like if the Riven doesn't know how to play the matchup, and she like exploits that somehow. John Magic, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it, appreciate it.
Mi
You guys, thank you guys for all the subs today, by the way. I really appreciate it. You guys have been too nice. Let me just get my dirt. That guy's dead too.
Los sacrificios son necesarios.
So what's the main thing Riven needs to do to make it unwinnable for Irelia? You just sit in front of your minion waves all the time and play waves and play it based on like when the wave is coming back to you or hers, right? And then you just make sure to not like get baited by Irelia, just like
Propio camino.
using a bunch of her dashes or her E to like juke you under the wave, and then like, you know, essentially giving her free damage and free like DPS over time, right? You know, like free DPS. Because if you give her too much time to just set up those type of plays, then you can get killed, right? So it's really hard for Irelia to do anything here. Like there was an old matchup video I put on YouTube like a year and a half ago or two, where I played against General Sniper, and I literally won by just playing the matchup in the most standard way, and there's literally nothing Irelia can do. Sounds like the Yasuo matchup. Well, the Yasuo matchup is interesting. Yeah. The Yasuo matchup is interesting because his trade pattern can be forced a little bit harder, and it's more difficult for Riven to deal with once he gets like 1 or 2 item spikes. But it's still a Riven favored matchup, don't get me wrong. Riven still wins it.
Llevo tanto tiempo desterrada.
Okay.
Que no te gane la decisión.
Reverse win slash time, boys. You remember this mechanic? The classic. Of course, I fucking misclicked on the tower like 5. The one time I don't turn it on, and I click on this fucking thing up here. Look how tanky she is. What the fuck? 2000 HP almost. That's crazy. So the video of the early matchup is still relevant? Yeah, it's still relevant to this day. Riven jungle is dog shit. Oh, 100%. They never fixed that bug where like you can't stun minions or anything in the jungle Starblade. That's why it feels so bad. I really wouldn't recommend ever like doing Riven jungle. I see him. I just wanted to do it anyway. Baiting them. That's on me. Actual tanks with one item. It's Riot's lazy ass way to fix the Shaco box or whatever bug with the jungle camps. Jeez. Riot just ends up doing so much dumb shit, man. Do you like the current state of League? Not really. I have nothing to play right now though. At least until like the end of the month, this month. So it's like, this is like the only game that I'm like just passing time with, just chilling, talking with you guys. League is just that comfort game that I don't want to call it a comfort game. Yeah, that's how I feel, bro. Sounds like, oh, do I think you can't interrupt jungle AOCC anymore? It's shield them. Yeah, I found that change to be really stupid though. How should you interpret improvement in League? Because a big video on random doesn't define improvement. It's a visual bug on random. Feel something. Yeah, yeah, I actually agree with you there. It's definitely. It's definitely rank. Definitely gives you a false sense of improvement. And it also gives you bad habits that you might think are actually good, but they're actually really bad. So I get you. How do you define improvement? Well, see, that's one of the biggest difficulties when you play this game. My answer is you play other games, and then you apply concepts that you learn in this game in those other games and see if it actually works. Because I'm not gonna lie, this game, while it taught me a lot of things, right, it also stunted my my growth as a player overall, like just playing other games and thinking about other strategies. So it's something to think about. Because what I did, because I play multiple games at high level, right? Like at the almost like pro level or even pro level, right? You have to find a method of playing or like strategies, right? And then you apply them in other games and see if it works when you play against other people. But then if you try something from League, right? Specifically something that's like tied to risk reward, and then you notice, wait, this is actually really dog shit, I shouldn't be doing this. Then you know it realistically only works in League. And League fakes this level of improvement on things. And I'll tell you why, because sometimes you'll get a positive feedback of something that, you know, wouldn't have worked if your teammates had like brain or didn't have brain, right? So it's really tied on that whole team aspect. Sorry if I'm not like exactly mentioning what it is, but let me. I'll think of some examples in a second here. While I queue up for the next game. Oh, yeah, your tank is hell. Let's see. I sleep. See y'all later. All right, Turby. Good night, buddy. Sweet dreams. Damn, why is my client fucking frozen? Dude, is this gonna be a normal reoccurrence? My client exploding? Oh, no, okay, we're good. Okay. Okay, so let's think of one where it would be essentially like telling you or giving you the wrong idea. Say that you are playing a top lane matchup and you are trying to make your gameplay fit an idea where your teammates where like you're trying to control your teammates and you're trying to control variables that you shouldn't even be thinking about when you're thinking about like proper play, right? This game gives you a false sense of like, oh, that was the correct thing to do, because you might try that strategy for 10 games, right? And then you'll win with it and you're like, wow, I figured it out. I found the key, right? I found this one thing that's gonna fucking like, you know, it's like the secret that you've been looking for all this time. And then suddenly, like, you play 200 games and then it's like, damn, wait, this strategy isn't fucking working at all. It's just like coin flippy. It's just half and half. And then so it's like the game tricks you so many times just because it's a team game, right? Whenever you play a game that has an insane amount of variables and you're trying to find control